Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about why you need to buy your favorite classic iconic JDM car as soon as possible. I will give you my personal reasons as to why I think you should get your favorite car that you've been dreaming about. I know I recently have, and it's made me a whole hell of a lot happier. One of the first reasons why I think you should get back into a classic car or purchasing your dream car is because life is so short, man. You never know when something can change for you in the positive or the negative way. And I personally feel that now with the market and how it's been with a lot of car pricing coming down, I think right now is a perfect time to go ahead and explore the options of what you think you might want to enjoy driving, whether as a daily driver or as a fun car on the weekend, something to have fun with your family, your friends, or even just by yourself on the open road. Recently, my wife and I have acquired a couple cars that we've loved and have wanted to drive. Me, I've got a 2002 S2000 and a 99 Civic that I recently purchased this past year. My wife also picked up a 94 Del Sol, and one way that we wanted to have us reconnect not only with ourselves in the road but with our kids is by grabbing some cars that we felt we truly loved. I know for me, having a 99 Civic, I've had a couple cars that are very similar with a couple Integras, as well as a 93 Civic Coupe back in my day. My wife's first car ever was a Del Sol, and buying these cars not only helped us reconnect us with our old nostalgic feeling of driving and having fun, shifting and just going through the gears, driving with friends, going to meets, but also our kids can be able to connect with us, and for both of us, that's a big reason why we wanted to experience these types of vehicles again. Is having your family and friends with you is always great, and when you can enjoy what you're putting your hands on the steering wheel of, makes it even better. Speaking about life, whenever you go and have a car that is maybe not the most flashiest or the most noticeable, but somebody that can appreciate it, you're going to meet people along the way. And that's one thing that I've discovered a lot last year and this past summer and afterwards in 2024 is that we've met quite a few people along the way going to car meets throughout our local scene. And it's been refreshing talking with people that are like-minded, that enjoyed similar things that my wife and I do, and talking about our experiences, what we have planned for the cars on our behalf and on theirs, and just kind of sharing that love with like-minded people. It's a really great connection to have, and just keeping tabs on them, seeing how they're doing, seeing how their build is doing. All that it brings in a sense of community, which is what I love. Another reason why I think, bringing life into this aspect of cars is that it might potentially bring somebody out of their shell, somebody that might be more introverted or shy or not, kind of coming out in the forefront and speaking to people outright. They might be able to have a more sense of connection with somebody that, if they see a car from afar, appreciate that car and go up and talk to the person, they might really hit it off and make a new friend. And I think at the end of the day, everybody in the world wants to make a connection, whether it's with a special someone, your family, kids, friends, anything like that. And I think that's a great way to, bring that into your life, is to make meaningful connections with people that have the same likeness that you do. Jumping into the next topic, we're going to be talking about why I think having a car that's a bit older, that's 20 plus years old now or more, you have less gadgets, you have less things you need to work about, less sensors, less bells and whistles. It's more just put your foot on the gas, put your pedal to the metal, shift through the gears, or even if you want automatic, that's totally cool too. But it's just a sense of having less, and sometimes having less is more. I know for me, whenever I've been engaged the most is when I have a manual transmission, and it also helps me just better myself when I'm driving. It helps me with my awareness. It helps with me being more fulfilled behind the wheel, and it can also help a person that's looking to get into something like that and discover more about themselves. Another huge benefit to having less tech is that they're more reliable. You don't have to worry about sensors or a lot more electronics in the car that could potentially cause issues for you. So it's a lot more straightforward. There's a lot less to worry about. It's a lot more peace of mind. And I think in this day and age, with so much going on with inflation and just the way the world is turning now, having less stress is always going to provide a better life for you. Another great thing about having a 20-year-old vehicle that you can work on and wrench on is a lot of those parts are more reliable also. For me, being a Honda boy, I love the B series motors. K series obviously is amazing, and they have so much reliable and strong parts, as well as an aftermarket scene for that, where you can go and purchase pretty much a full build of a motor outright at some of these websites online. And having that type of ability to pay for something at your own disposal, a lot of the times you're having to wait for parts that are modded wise for newer vehicles, versus having these older vehicles that have been out for 20 some odd years or more. You've got the sense of looking it up, having people in your community share parts with you or where they got their stuff. So there's a sense more of having that information at your disposal, which is going to help somebody in their journey come around to perfecting their project as much as possible. And speaking on that, we're moving on to our next topic, which is they're easy to work on. There's so much more space in the engine bay. There's a lot less wiring and electrical devices that are going on, that you can focus more so on the nuts and bolts of things and just get to wrenching. Another huge benefit to that is that they can potentially cost a lot less money. There are some builds out there or some types of motors that could be a lot more expensive for sure. I've got a S2000, so I know how that can be. But for the most part, if you've got a relatively cheaper car with a relatively accessible motor, with relatively accessible and in-demand parts, that's going to help with lowering the cost on parts and labor. So, if you want to be able to change out some of your own stuff, you're going to save money in that regard. But also finding these parts could potentially be a lot less money that you have to burn from your pocket. Moving along to the next point is these cars are more fun. At least for me, having a manual transmission at my disposal, I enjoy my driving experience so much more when I can just power through the gears, have fun, and not even worry about anything else. Another big benefit to having that is that these cars weigh a bit less than some of the more modern cars, and having a lot less weight that you have to throw around when trying to up your horsepower and put it to the ground. That's going to help you with going faster and having more fun. But please be responsible when you're having that fun. Another way to have more fun is by exploring different project options. Again, I've kind of mentioned this in other videos, where if you want to track your car or, drag your car, there are plenty of resources out there to help you in the sense of information or parts. And another part of that is you can kind of go fun with whatever direction you want to go. And that's the beauty of building your own car to your own liking, whether if you're doing the wrenching yourself or if you're paying somebody to do it for you. At the end of the day, the goal is to make you happy. And as long as you achieve that, that's all that matters. Another area where I have a lot of fun in my life is meeting people and sharing conversations with them regarding whatever it is that they're passionate about. And a lot of times when we go to these car meets, we're all passionate about cars. Whether it's a 3000 GT or if it's a Nissan Skyline or whatever car may come into the parking lot. I love hearing about people's stories, what they've done to the car, what they're going to do to the car, and what they potentially want to do for their lives, and connecting on that front, meeting people, just enjoying the journey with connecting is really what, in my opinion, what life is about. Another sense of having fun is, if you are turning the wrenches on your own project, there's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. You might blow a motor, you might bust your knuckle trying to crack open a bolt. But at the end of the day, it's all for the betterment of our passion, and again, when you can bring it full circle with your family or with friends that you can kind of shoot the shit with afterwards, to me that's kind of a point where it brings all that heartache that you put into the car, all the stress, all the drama, all the ups and downs, the heights and the lows. It makes it that much more rewarding after you've achieved your goals. The next topic I want to talk about is the nostalgic or collectors side of things. You know, people that have had cars like this similarly 20, 25 years ago, and selling their current vehicles, more modernized vehicles now, to go back towards that old traditional route, kind of like I have and other people that I know have. It brings that sense of a breath of fresh air. And now with the way the car route is going, with people, reselling their vehicles, the value has also upped. So, if you're looking to really enjoy the car for a moment of time and looking to resell, depending on the condition and the type of car, you could see a decent return if you've had it for, 10, 15 some odd years. But for the most part, it's about reconnecting with something that you've loved and cherished when you were younger and bringing that fire back into your heart. One of the last talking points that I want to bring up is when you have these type of JDM cars from 20 some odd years or more, you've got a sense of community. And that's one beautiful thing that brings it all around, is you've got a whole bunch of people that are going out to, either car meets or car shows or track days or whatever it is, and they are all together for the same reason, and that's because the love of cars and the scene. I know when I was growing up, I used to go to quite a bit of car shows and car meets around my local area, and one of the bigger events that I went to was Hot Import Nights. And that always resonated with me so much because there were so many people that were just smiling, happy, great music, great cars, a great sense of togetherness throughout the entire event. There was no drama, there was no issues. It was just people displaying their cars, having fun, and talking it up with other people that were appreciating their cars, or sponsors that were there, vendors that were there, kind of displaying some wheels or whatever car parts or applications that they were selling. And it was all for the sense of the community. And with that sense of community, you again, at your disposal, you've got people that have lived sometimes 40, 50 years more than you, that can pass down information that they've experienced in their life and give it to you to help you out with your project, and to bring a sense of happiness and connectivity in many forms. And I think that community is a huge role that the JDM scene has had, and kind of framing and forming the idea of people just enjoying cars as a whole. That's going to do it for today's video. Again, thank you for tuning in to the channel and tuning in for another video. Please, if you can, like and subscribe. Tell me below what kind of car you've recently purchased, that you've had for a decade plus, or that you're thinking about purchasing, below in the comments. That way we can all kind of get in on the topic of what you're looking to do with your build, or what car that you would want to buy. Explore other options as far as price ranges and what could fit in your price range. But list it down below in the comment section to chime in. That's going to do it for today, and until next time, have a good one and drive safe.